Lighting a candle takes seconds. Igniting the soul of another person, however, can take years. In this week's Torah portion, Aaron is commanded to hold the flame to the menorah until the fire rises on its own. But beneath this simple instruction may be one of the most challenging lessons about discipleship in all of Torah. Let's take a look at this idea together in this week's 5-Minute Torah. Shalom and blessings from Shalom Macon, the place where disciples of Yeshua learn, connect, and grow. I'm Darren, and before I get into the 5 minutes of my 5-minute Torah commentary, let's cover a few quick facts about this week's Torah portion. This week we are studying the 36th Torah portion and the third portion of the book of Numbers. We are in the portion of Baha'alotcha, Numbers 8:1 through 12:15, and here are the three things that you need to know about it. Number 1, lighting the menorah, rekindling the flame. The Torah portion Baha'alotcha, which means when you kindle, begins with God's instructions to Aaron regarding the lighting of the menorah in the Mishkan, or the Tabernacle. Aaron is commanded to set up and light the 7 lamps of the menorah so that they shine forward, illuminating the area in front of it. This act of kindling the menorah is rich with symbolism, representing the light of God's presence among the children of Israel. The continual lighting of the menorah by Aaron and his descendants serves as a perpetual reminder of God's guidance and the importance of maintaining spiritual integrity within the community. It highlights the sacred duty of the priests and the central role of divine light in worship and daily life. Number 2, kvetching and quail, the dangers of discontent. In this Torah portion, we also encounter Israel's dissatisfaction with manna, a struggle as old as humanity itself. The people craved the foods they remembered in Egypt, especially meat, and complained bitterly to Moses. Overwhelmed by their constant kvetching, Moses becomes weary under the burden of leading a discontented people. God responds by sending quail into the camp through a powerful wind. Yet, while God's people are still eating, God's anger is kindled against their ungratefulness, and a severe plague breaks out among them. This sobering story reminds us of the danger of discontentment and challenges us to cultivate gratitude instead. And number 3, Miriam and Aaron challenging Moses. We also read about Miriam and Aaron challenging Moses' authority and criticizing him over his Cushite wife. They argue that God has spoken through them as well, implying that Moses should not hold a unique position among the people. God responds swiftly, summoning the 3 siblings to the tent of meeting and affirming Moses' unparalleled prophetic role, speaking with him, quote, face to face, unlike any other prophet. As a consequence, Miriam is struck with tzara'at, her skin turning white as snow. Aaron pleads before Moses, who intercedes on her behalf, and after 7 days outside the camp, Miriam is healed. It's a powerful reminder that discontentment, comparison, and jealousy can tear apart even the closest relationships if left unchecked. The 5-Minute Torah series is your guide to uncovering Messianic connections within each week's Torah portion, pulling together the Torah and the teachings of the apostolic scriptures. In just 5 minutes, you'll discover how the Torah connects to your life as a disciple of Yeshua with insights that are both practical and deeply spiritual. The 5-Minute Torah books are the weekly Torah portion with a Messianic connection in just 5 minutes. Don't wait. Order yours today. This week's Torah commentary is called To Kindle a Soul and comes from my book, 5-Minute Torah, Volume 1. As you probably noticed, there's almost always something fascinating to discuss at the beginning of the weekly Torah portions. This week is no exception. Parashat Baha'alotcha begins with the instructions on how Aaron, the Kohen Gadol, or the high priest, should kindle the menorah for the tabernacle. Now the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Speak to Aaron and say to him, when you Baha'alotcha the lamps, the 7 lamps shall give light in front of the lampstand." This is Numbers 8, verses 1 and 2. The word Baha'alotcha means to cause to go up. Rashi, the medieval Torah commentator, describes this procedure by saying that Aaron was to hold the fire to the wick of the menorah, quote, until the flame rises on its own accord. What does this mean? I'm sure we've all done it. We have lit a match and then held it to a candle until we think the candle is lit. But when we pull the match away and extinguish it, the wick immediately dims and is reduced to a smolder without any sign of a flame. We've wasted not only a match, but also our time. Now we have to find another match and begin the process all over again. Doing it properly, therefore, is to our advantage. Hasidic Judaism relates Rashi's comment about the kindling of the menorah to discipleship. This concept is connected with Proverbs 20:27, which says that the soul of man is the candle of God. In other words, the soul of man must be set aflame with the love of God and the love of the commandments. Aaron is seen as the model for this. Jewish sources remember Aaron for his ability to endear his fellow man to the Torah. The great sage Hillel reminds us that we are to imitate Aaron in this way. Be of the disciples of Aaron, loving peace and pursuing peace, loving your fellow creatures and bringing them close to the Torah. This is from Avot 1:12. Aaron's job was to kindle a flame not only in the menorah, but also in his fellow man. As disciples of Yeshua, we often think it's our job to evangelize others the same way we light candles. We introduce them to the fire within us until we see a spark, and then we move on to the next candle before the wick within them is able to produce a flame of its own accord. Therefore, we often end up having to, quote, light the same people over and over. This is the difference between discipleship and evangelism. Evangelism considers a candle lit if it sparks. Discipleship holds the fire to the candle until the flame rises on its own accord. If the soul of man is indeed the candle of God, then we need to make sure we hold our flame to it until it's able to be self-sustaining. How do we do this? Through investing into people's lives. Going door to door or passing out tracts may produce a spark, but it rarely produces a self-sustaining flame. We must take people under our wings and show them the joy and the beauty of living a godly life. We must also pour into them both the love of God and instructions for righteous living. This takes self-sacrifice, intentional instruction, and a genuine love for others. Only then will the soul of man ignite on its own accord and rise to praise its Creator. Only then will we have helped to create a holy light that doesn't smolder or grow dim. You haven't subscribed to the Shalom Macon Kids channel yet? If you have children who love learning Torah in a fun and engaging way, we've created a space and a place just for them. Rabbi Shmuley Socks and all of our Socks on Your Table videos now have a brand new home on the Shalom Macon Kids YouTube channel, filled with kid-friendly Torah teaching designed to help children learn, connect, and grow with the scriptures. Be sure to head on over, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that your little menches don't miss a new episode. And as always, thank you for making Torah a part of your home. You can check us out right here.